Good morning and welcome back to this final segment of Girl Talk. I'm your host, Stott-Smith, and if you are just joining us, we are now at Captured Moments Photography. I'm joined by Susan Stott-Smith and Eric Smith. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And we are going to be talking about some studio lighting and some great photography accolades and just different aspects of the studio. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the studio?
Well, here you are. We're in our studio. We have, we live downtown in downtown Beaufort. We have a duplex where we live in one half of the studio, or one half of the building, and the studio's in our other side here. It's split in two. Basically, we've got a lighter side with the white floor and a lighter backgrounds, and then back where our cameraman's standing over there is the darker side with the darker backgrounds. It's all different lighting. We have different backgrounds here that we can pull apart. Our walls are full of little kid props, and we have baskets and baskets full of props and things that people can use.
I mean, you've really made a great use of the space here. Even with the props, you've made it look as if it's part of the decor. As we were walking through and you were showing the different sections and segments, you've really made a great use of the space.
Yeah. It's like living on a boat now. You got to take advantage of all the small spaces.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not cluttered though.
No, it's not.
Definitely is not. It looks like it's part of the decor.
Because as you know, Eric would trip over it, and then that would not be good. You know, stepping on a baby is not good. So yeah, you got to do that.
And then you'd have that aspect of dealing with that at work and going home and still having to deal with that.
Exactly. So yeah, we came from a house in Maryland where we had 3,700 square feet. Now we live in 900 square feet.
Wow.
So we are very compact now. Okay, so it's great.
So
but the other advantage,
go ahead, just tell us a little bit about what goes on here.
Well, I was just going to say the other advantage is that we are right across the street from the bluff.
Yes,
so we have a lovely studio, but we also have outdoor space where we can photograph.
Right.
And that is, our neighbor across the street has a beautiful gate, and he's got lovely brick stairs, and we have the bluff right across the street.
Right.
So like just this past weekend, we had a baby that was not having it here in the studio. She was afraid of the lights. She cried. We tried for 45 minutes. It wasn't going to happen.
Right.
We went outside, and she was happy as can be.
I think it's great. Again, as I was walking through doing a tour of the studio, it's a beautiful studio. And the fact that, again, every inch of the space is used, the subject, so to speak, is that what you would call those that you take the pictures of?
Or
the subject, the client can choose to utilize indoor space, or you can step outside. Like you said, there's a beautiful view of the bluff, the water's across the street, the porch is beautiful, exterior-wise, even the yard. So, I mean, you've made a great use of the space.
Well,
again,
we
and there's
use
so
it
many
all.
options.
We use it all.
Yes, and I think that's great. So tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Well, I'm the photographer. Susan kind of runs the business. And
Yeah.
I run the studio and the cameras and all of that.
Okay, well, you do an excellent job.
So he does not cross into my realm, and I do not cross into his
Everybody
realm.
stays in their lane.
So I don't come in.
Yeah.
The only time I come in the studio when he's shooting is if I'm a baby whisperer. So if the baby's crying and the mom has to keep the attention, I'll try to get the baby to smile.
Right.
Otherwise, he does his thing in here. And then once we're done, we immediately take him into the sales room, and I can do the sales right away.
Right.
And he does not come into there. They'll say, well, "What does Eric think? Which pictures he like?" Eric's
like,
not allowed to like any of
done.
them. He doesn't have an opinion. He takes them, and then we pick them. So
Well, I noticed that, which is great. I noticed that in speaking about your sales office, when we walked in, it's very comfortable, it's very cozy, but you have the big screen, so where your clients, once you've done the studio session, they can go get comfortable, look at a big screen TV, and view the photos that Eric just took, which is a great aspect because we live in a microwave nation. People want to see it right
You don't
now.
have the time to come back. Yeah.
Right, and I think that's great.
And again, as studio owners, as successful studio owners over the years, time is money.
Exactly.
So we want them to see them while they're excited about the pictures. They can look at them. They can choose them on that big screen TV. My viewing software, we can put up 2, 3, or 4 pictures at a time. I can zoom it up so they can check every face and see which one is the best one. We have a system where everything's a maybe. You look at 3 or 4 pictures. The one you like best goes in the happy pile, the others go in the sad pile, and you narrow down, and then you choose which one you want.
I think that's great. Now tell us a little bit more, Eric, with you. I think we were talking about poses. You have the great space as far as the studio and letting them select their background and their options and the feel of what they want to do. What do you see, what's big or what works for you in reference to posing clients? What kind of poses work?
Every individual is different. So generally we come in, we kind of get them warmed up, we take a couple pictures. Like I do a lot of headshots, let's just go with that for now.
Right.
Right, so I have to decide what angle they're going to be at, the shape of their face, and I'm going to light them accordingly.
Right.
It's called corrective lighting and posing.
Okay.
And over time, by the end of the session, we know where the sweet spot is. We're looking for the spot that looks better than all the other spots in the light and the pose, the angle of the camera, the position of the lights.
I definitely can attest. I believe that is what sets you all apart, is because you're not just snapping a picture. You are taking time. There's a science into knowing how to pose and lighting, and it really presents the client in a very the best light. And
this is it. Showing you in your best light, this is
exactly.
it. Like for you in a headshot, I would probably, my main light's over here, I would rotate your shoulders this way a little bit. I'd set up a table, I'd bring this shoulder down a little bit.
I feel pretty already.
And then I would take this chin around over here. And I would move these back and forth, both the shoulders, the head, the angle, until everything just comes into balance.
Well, see, even just moving me in that posture, I mean, I'm awful with my posture, but even just the posture, you straighten up, your chin's right, and that's how you're able to get that great streamlined shot.
That's the physical component. The other component is, I mean, once you've got that mastered, then it's like, I need to make you feel comfortable.
And it wasn't uncomfortable either. It does.
Well, sometimes it's very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's the most uncomfortable pose is the most pretty pose. So sometimes it will be.
I meant mentally to make you feel
Gotcha.
confident. Until I get the one picture I think that represents what I'm doing, I'll show it to you, and then all of a sudden, we'll start relaxing, and then we'll, because I can have you perfectly posed, but if you're like, tensing out, right? So
this is my camera-ready pose.
That's the other half of the game that I don't think anyone understands. It's like I'm doing all this other stuff while I'm talking
behind the
to
scenes.
you.
So he's not just snapping photos.
He's a psychiatrist
He's
too.
a scientist. There's some art and science to this.
And then once you feel the confidence, then
exactly. And I imagine that is what keeps bringing your clients back time and time again. So, I mean, I think it's great. It's phenomenal. Thank you for having us here at the studio. It's a beautiful studio. And we thank you for joining us with Girl Talk. Again, I'm your host, Stott-Smith. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.